Welcome back on to Kansas Sports Chatter. It's time now for Faces, Voices, and Riders. So many great media personalities throughout the entire state that cover high school athletics, and this is our chance to talk to some of them. Today, we go out to Clay Center to talk with Rocky Downing. He is the voice of the Clay Center Tigers, also the station manager for KCLY. Hey, Rocky, appreciate you jumping on the show. For you, you're a Missouri guy, right? So how did you end up in Clay Center right out of college in the early 1990s?
Yeah, I actually worked in retail in Kansas City for a couple of years out of college. I managed a video store, which no longer exists in this day and age. But my brother and sister both lived in Salina, and my sister saw an ad in the Clay Center Dispatch. Answered it, and came for an interview, and pretty much was given the job at that time. So I went to college at William Jewell, just outside of Kansas City. So that was where I came from.
For you, now calling Clay Center games for 30 plus years, like, what is the preparation like for you for games? What do you have to do to feel comfortable going into a broadcast?
Well, obviously, it's gotten more comfortable as the years have gone along. But it's very important to know our athletes. That comes easy because I'm around them quite a bit. But we have a real good connection with our North Central Kansas League broadcasters, which is primarily who we're broadcasting against. And we have a text thread, all of us, that we keep each other up to date on what's happening, kind of what the team's up to, and stats and that type of stuff. So that prep work is so much easier now than it was 30 some years ago, when you were trying to find anywhere and anyone who would share some stats. And so that's certainly become much easier than it used to be.
I'll put you on the spot. This is a tough question for as long as you've been doing it, but maybe a favorite moment. Are there any moments calling Clay Center Tiger football, basketball, any sport that stands out to you over the years?
Yeah, it is a tough question. There's a lot of special moments. I would say calling my son's touchdown. The Z Dog had got on the corner right and ran up the sideline for a TD in high school. So that's a highlight. You know, the days of Nicole Oldie Johnson and Kendra Wecker, when they were banging heads in the NCKL in basketball, and then to go on and play together and become All-Americans at Kansas State. That's pretty cool stuff to see those things. A real quick funny story, and I'll water this down quickly, but we do some area games as well. And we were doing a game with Jordy Nelson playing over at Riley County, and it was a freezing night. We were on top of a tin roof, sleeting sideways, and you couldn't even keep stats because the rain and sleet and everything was messing with you. And so George Heiss was the sports director when I came here, and he had brought a little heater to put underneath the card table that we had to work with. And Jordy's mom, Kim, I've known them because we played softball and so forth against each other and together. And she kind of came up and waved at the top of the bleachers, and I waved, and she waved again. I was thinking, yeah. And then she finally points, and the card table had gotten on fire. There was smoke starting to rise, and you could hear George say, "We're going to a break," and you could hear him try to blow it out, and then we patted it out, came right back. Most of the listeners didn't know that it happened, but I don't know if that's a highlight, but it's certainly something that's memorable.
That's impressive. I feel like most people would probably be out for a few minutes, maybe a half hour. The broadcast would end, but you guys just kept trucking.
For the second time out, we were back, man.
That's a true professional. Last question for you, Rocky. What makes good play-by-play broadcasting? So when you're not calling games and you have the chance to listen to other broadcasters throughout the state, whether it's high school, college, or professional, does anything stand out to you that says, okay, yep, they have to have this for broadcasting to sound good? What stands out for play-by-play?
I do a lot of roundtables with the KAB, and so the one thing I kind of emphasize to the student KAB seminars, sports seminars. The one thing I'll emphasize is obviously you have to get the names right. I mean, that's the basics. Know the sport, and if you don't, when I first started doing volleyball and wrestling on air, I did not know those sports very well at all, and so you just learn those things. But one thing I think stands out is you can't be up here the entire time in excitement and level. You'll wear your listeners out. You can't be down here because you're going to lose your listeners. But I think you give them something constant, and then when your voice rises or excitement comes into the broadcast, I think that you get their attention back, and they know something's going on, and it's not just continuously yelling and screaming, if you will, throughout the broadcast. I think you can have your own niche. I grew up wanting to be Denny Matthews, you know, thanks, Fred. Hi again, everyone. And so I still feel that when the baseball broadcast, some influence, but it's still my voice and what I do. And
Rocky, appreciate the time. That's Rocky Downing, the station manager for KCLY there in Clay Center and the voice of the Clay Center Tigers.